What happens when Suzuki stops caring about subtlety and builds one of the most intimidating cruisers the motorcycle world has ever seen? You get the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R, a massive V-twin muscle machine so aggressive, so powerful, and so unbelievably wild that it still terrifies ordinary cruisers years after its arrival. The moment you see this monster, you instantly know it means business. Huge rear tire, long stretched stance, massive engine, brutal drag bike proportions. Everything about the M109R screams raw power before the engine even starts. But here's the shocking part. This motorcycle isn't just about looking intimidating. Twist the throttle, and the giant V-twin explodes forward with brutal acceleration that feels more like a muscle car than a traditional cruiser. This isn't relaxed boulevard cruising anymore. This is full-blown torque insanity, built for riders who want pure adrenaline, mixed with old-school V-twin aggression. And honestly, once riders experience the M109R's brutal personality, many ordinary cruisers suddenly feel soft, slow, and completely forgettable. At the heart of the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R sits one of the craziest cruiser engines ever built. A gigantic V-twin designed to deliver overwhelming torque and addictive acceleration. The moment you twist the throttle, the motorcycle responds instantly with savage force that feels absolutely intoxicating. This engine doesn't gently build speed. It attacks the road with brutal low-end power and endless mid-range muscle that keeps pulling harder than most riders expect from a cruiser. Highway overtakes happen effortlessly. Stoplight launches feel explosive, and every throttle input reminds you this bike was engineered for pure emotional excitement. But what makes the M109R truly special is how refined all that aggression feels. The engine remains smooth enough for normal cruising, while still delivering monstrous performance whenever riders demand it. That combination of brutality and refinement is exactly why this motorcycle developed such a legendary reputation among muscle cruiser fans around the world. Visually, the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R still looks absolutely insane. Suzuki designed this machine to resemble a drag bike crossed with a futuristic power cruiser, and honestly, few motorcycles on the road still look this aggressive today. The enormous rear tire immediately dominates attention, creating a planted, muscular appearance that screams horsepower even while parked. The stretched fuel tank, low-slung bodywork, wide stance, and massive exhaust pipes combine into one of the boldest cruiser designs ever produced. And unlike traditional cruisers that rely heavily on retro chrome nostalgia, the M109R embraces a modern muscle bike identity completely. Everything feels oversized, intimidating, extreme. This isn't a motorcycle built to blend into traffic. It's built to dominate every street it enters. Park this thing anywhere, and people instantly stop what they're doing just to stare at it. Few factory motorcycles create this much visual impact. Riding the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R feels like controlling a giant mechanical beast with unlimited confidence. The low seating position and stretched ergonomics instantly create a commanding riding posture, while the massive V-twin pulses beneath you with addictive mechanical energy. Twist the throttle, and the motorcycle surges forward with shocking force that feels completely different from traditional cruisers. Yet despite all that aggression, the bike remains surprisingly manageable once moving. The engine delivers smooth power during casual cruising, while the long chassis provides serious stability at speed. But make no mistake, this motorcycle always feels alive. Every vibration, every gear change, and every burst of acceleration constantly reminds riders they're sitting on one of the most outrageous muscle cruisers ever built. And honestly, that emotional intensity is exactly why people become obsessed with the M109R. The 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R absolutely comes alive on open highways. This is where the motorcycle's massive engine and stretched chassis finally get room to breathe properly. The giant V-twin settles into a deep, thunderous rhythm, while the long wheelbase creates incredible high-speed stability that feels almost unstoppable. This motorcycle doesn't simply cruise highways, it completely dominates them. Highway overtakes require almost no effort thanks to the endless torque available at low RPMs, while the aggressive road presence makes the M109R feel like a king among ordinary traffic. And because the engine feels so relaxed during cruising speeds, riders quickly realize this bike isn't just about raw power. It's also built for long-distance confidence and effortless highway muscle. Few cruisers combine this level of performance and road presence so effectively. Now let's be honest, the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R isn't pretending to be a lightweight sport bike. The giant rear tire and stretched cruiser geometry prioritize straight-line stability and muscle bike attitude over razor-sharp cornering agility. But surprisingly, the motorcycle handles far better than many people expect. Once moving, the chassis feels balanced and planted, while the suspension provides enough support to keep the bike feeling stable through sweeping curves and highway transitions. Low-speed maneuvering requires respect because of the bike's size and weight, but experienced riders adapt quickly to its personality. And honestly, that larger-than-life personality is exactly what makes the M109R memorable. This motorcycle doesn't apologize for being huge, aggressive, and dramatic. It fully embraces its muscle cruiser identity, and riders absolutely love it for that reason. Despite its brutal appearance, the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R remains surprisingly comfortable during longer rides. The low seat height creates confidence immediately, while the relaxed foot positioning helps reduce fatigue during highway cruising. The seat provides decent support for extended rides, and the engine stays smooth enough during steady speeds to make touring genuinely enjoyable. Wind protection remains minimal, because this motorcycle prioritizes raw muscle bike styling over luxury touring comfort, but that exposed riding experience is part of the M109R's appeal. Riders feel connected directly to the engine, the road, and the environment around them. This isn't isolated luxury cruising, it's aggressive open-air muscle riding. And honestly, for many cruiser enthusiasts, that experience feels far more exciting and authentic. One of the smartest things about the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R is how it combines old-school muscle bike aggression with modern engineering reliability. Fuel injection keeps throttle response smooth and dependable, while Suzuki's engineering ensures the motorcycle remains surprisingly refined during everyday use. Unlike heavily modified custom cruisers that constantly demand maintenance, the M109R delivers real-world usability alongside its outrageous performance. That balance matters enormously because riders want emotional excitement without sacrificing dependability, and honestly, Suzuki absolutely nailed that formula here. The motorcycle still feels raw, mechanical, and intimidating, but it also starts reliably, rides smoothly, and remains manageable enough for regular ownership. That combination is a huge reason why the M109R became such an icon among muscle cruiser fans. So who should seriously consider the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R? This motorcycle is built for riders who want something bold, emotional, and unapologetically aggressive. It's perfect for cruiser enthusiasts who care deeply about torque, styling, acceleration, and road presence more than lightweight agility or luxury touring technology. This isn't an ideal beginner motorcycle. It's a serious muscle cruiser designed for riders who understand and appreciate massive V-twin power. And honestly, that focused personality is exactly what makes the M109R so legendary. It doesn't try to please everyone. Instead, it delivers one specific experience unbelievably well. Pure, American-style muscle bike madness, with Japanese engineering reliability. At the end of the day, the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R may still be one of the craziest muscle cruisers ever unleashed on public roads. It combines brutal V-twin torque, outrageous styling, addictive acceleration, real highway performance, and unforgettable road presence into one absolutely insane motorcycle. This machine doesn't care about trends, subtlety, or conservative design. It exists to shock people, dominate highways, and make every ride feel dramatic. And honestly, that's exactly why riders continue obsessing over it year after year. In a world increasingly filled with safe and predictable motorcycles, the M109R remains refreshingly raw, aggressive, and full of personality. It proves motorcycles don't need endless electronics or futuristic styling to remain exciting. Sometimes the best machines are the ones that still feel a little dangerous every time the throttle opens,